We have officially arrived in November, and it is now time for the most wonderful time of the year. That's right, it's hunting season. How about we venture out and find out what game is out there? The Predator Badlands review is coming your way right now. Greetings, hunters, and welcome to the latest edition of the Porter Report. My name is BJ Porter, and I hope everybody is having an amazing day today. For all of my returning viewers, it is wonderful to see you all again, and for all my first timers out there, welcome, and we hope you enjoy everything that this video and channel has to offer. The November movie slate has arrived, and I'm here to deliver to you guys the first of several big Porter Report movie reviews. This segment allows me to express my thoughts and opinions about the movies that I see and enjoy, and those of you do as well. Our movie that we're discussing today has us ready for the hunt as we prepare to enter uncharted territory alongside one of the fiercest warriors amongst the stars. Today I'm giving you guys the official review for Predator Badlands, directed by Dan Trachtenberg and starring Elle Fanning as Weyland-Yutani's synthetic android Thea, and for the first time ever, playing our lead protagonist Yautja, New Zealand native Demetrius Schuster-Koloamatangi. In the pantheon of the sci-fi action genre, the Predator franchise's portfolio has had an interesting track record to say the least. What started out as a wartime set survival horror thriller starring Arnold Schwarzenegger has evolved into a series that, for the most part, seems to suffer from somewhat of an identity crisis. Sometimes it's dark and gritty, creating genuine moments of terror and tension, and sometimes it leans too far into the comedic and goofy, where people weren't sure what it was supposed to be or what it was even trying to be. Needless to say, from 1991 to 2018, the franchise was on a bit of a downward spiral. Thankfully, things started to shift in 2022. Dan Trachtenberg, who directed the 2016 film 10 Cloverfield Lane, stepped into the franchise and injected it with some refreshingly invigorating new blood. His first contribution was the 2022 Hulu film Prey that brought the series back to its gritty and grounded roots in a time setting that was previously unexplored. It was the first time in a long time that Predator fans felt like somebody finally understood the essence of this series while still doing something new and unique. That trend continued earlier this year with the release of the animated anthology film Predator Killer of Killers, which featured a variety of characters throughout human history, having encounters with fearsome Yautja warriors. Some of those encounters ending rather painfully. Trachtenberg is now set to deliver his next Predator project, which once again adds a new spin on what we've come to expect from these movies. The standalone spinoff known as Badlands puts the titular Yautja character in a position we've never seen him in before. That position being the leading man. With arguably one of the boldest moves we've seen from this franchise yet, the question going in is will this gamble pay off and make Trachtenberg 3 for 3 within the series? Only way to find out is to gear up and hunt for the answers we seek. Here's the Porter Report movie review for Predator Badlands. Throughout the history of human civilization, there is a rich and storied collection of warrior clans who have inspired awe and fear for those who have witnessed their escapades firsthand. While those clans have etched their names in the history books on Earth, they are hardly the only ones in this universe to do so. In the vast reaches of the galaxy, there is another collection of warriors who are equally as revered and feared throughout the cosmos. Known as the Yautja, these elite hunters are trained in the brutal art of tracking and killing the most fearsome game throughout the various galactic territories. Due to their strict and cutthroat methods of proving they are worthy to carry on the coveted mantle, many Yautja warriors fail to earn the right to be considered to be part of the faction of elite hunter-killers. Cast out by his clan for being a lowly run unworthy of the mark, a young Yautja warrior is determined to prove to those above him that he is worthy of the mantle and he is willing to do it by any means necessary. His dangerous pursuit will take him to one of the most hostile planets in the region to hunt and kill that planet's deadliest apex predator that has been deemed by many to be unkillable. With an iron will intact and his pride on the line, this young warrior must face the challenge in front of him and prove to others and to himself that he is worthy to be known as one of the top predators in the clan. The sci-fi franchise that has been built on brutality-laced tension and chaos is back with an all-new entry that takes the series into uncharted territory. Director Dan Trachtenberg returns to the Predator franchise for a series first that sees the title character front and center as the lead protagonist in the white-knuckle action thriller. After confronting the trials of this intergalactic hunt for the ages, Predator Badlands is a shining example of how to bring uniqueness and newness to a series, while still maintaining what makes it appealing to those who continue to invest in it. The Predator franchise is experiencing quite a resurgent yet quiet renaissance as of late. Since the early part of the decade, the recent installments have reignited the franchise in a way that has made longtime fans excited in a way that they haven't felt in a long time, and have piqued the interest of those who have yet to dive into this brutal world of hunter-killers. Dan Trachtenberg has spearheaded this franchise resurrection, while also never sacrificing the core of storytelling. Predator Badlands continues that very trend while doing the bold move of putting the titular character out of the villain role and into the spotlight as the leading narrative force, driving the story forward. It is something that has never been attempted in the franchise, but thankfully, the risk pays off in fun and surprisingly emotional ways. Credit for that has to go to Demetrius Schuster-Koloamatangi for his role as our lead Yautja protagonist, Deck. He brings such personality and nuance to a character that gives him a variety of layers beyond just the muscle-bound brute looking to kill for sport. Deck is someone who was desperate to prove himself and is for the most part driven by pure pride. However, over the course of the movie, he learns that even with his motivations, he has the power and the opportunity to forge his own path and his own identity should he choose to do so. Schuster-Koloamatangi makes Deck a character you want to see succeed, and you genuinely feel a surge of pride when he accomplishes a feat or overcomes an obstacle. Putting the Yautja character front and center as the lead protagonist was a bold and risky move, and needed the right person steering the ship to make it work. I'm happy to say that Deck is a character not just worth rooting for, but also someone who may be one of the best characters the franchise has ever seen. Our leading lady is also a standout in a multitude of ways as well. Elle Fanning is a surprisingly fun supporting character in her role as Thea. I was not expecting a character like this to have such a lively personality given what she is in the movie. She brings such an innocence and childlike curiosity to the role in addition to being a strong audience surrogate. Seeing Fanning play such a different take on a Weyland-Yutani synth might just be as bold and different as having a Yautja as your lead character. But that, I think, is just another instance of Trachtenberg not playing it safe and it working to his advantage. This brings me to the two elements that I believe allow Predator Badlands to work so well, those being innovation and simplicity. The innovation element speaks to Badlands doing new things that still feel authentic to what makes Predator a standout franchise in the genre, and the movie's incredible action sequences have a lot to do with that. It truly is fun to see Deck in action in this movie, for it says a lot about his character as much as his dialogue does. Deck's biggest strengths throughout the movie are his quick thinking and improvisational adaptation to scenarios as they occur. Watching him read situations in the heat of battle and come up with quick counters and solutions made for some incredibly satisfying and cheer-worthy moments on screen. All are fun to watch and all fit right into the world of Predator. The other element, simplicity, speaks to Trachtenberg's directing and approach to storytelling. Badlands is without a doubt a non-stop action thriller, but the story structure is just the right amount of basic that is a refreshing change from what we've seen in the past. The character motivations are easily telegraphed and established, the overall character arc is well executed, and all of the setups and payoffs are satisfying. Taking away the fact that this is a Predator movie, the thing that I am pleased with the most is that Dan Trachtenberg told a strong story with a strong lead and never tried to do too much. So many times movies like this try to do extra that they forget that sometimes the simplistic approach is the most effective. Story is at the heart of this film from beginning to end, and that should be the model for any genre film moving forward. If you are not invested in the story, the characters, and what they are going through, no budget-heavy action set piece is going to make the journey worthwhile. It is crazy to think that out of all of the movies to remind us of this, Badlands is the surprise within the bunch to do so. All in all, Predator Badlands is a great example of how to bring fresh takes to a series while also never sacrificing what's important. The film is fast-paced, thrilling, surprisingly heartfelt, and just a good piece of effective cinematic storytelling. Amongst the other top dogs in the pack, the latest chapter in the brutality-laced sci-fi franchise shows that keeping it simple can make the best things within it just as sweet. Anyone who has seen a Predator movie knows what they're getting from it upon walking in. Tension, deadly gadgets and weapons, and some brutal action that will make even the characters of Mortal Kombat blush. Predator Badlands does all of what I just mentioned, but it also does something a whole lot more important. Tells a great story with a great lead character. Seriously guys, Predator movies aren't really known for having nuanced characters that you genuinely want to root for, but yet, here we are. I never thought I would see the day where I'm actually rooting for the Yautja to succeed as the protagonist. I mean, granted, we were kind of rooting for the Yautja when he was the antagonist, but at least now we don't have to feel guilty about it. To be quite frank, guys, if you're a fan of the Predator franchise and even the Alien franchise, I have to say, you guys are eating pretty good right now. The stories that have come out over the past few years have shown that you can respect what came before, while still doing things that are unique and different. I seriously have to give Dan Trachtenberg his flowers for bringing such a refreshing breath of life to a franchise that a lot of people thought had no life. His contributions show that the series' future is bright, and who knows what bold new directions will take the franchise moving forward. But now, it's time for me to hear from you guys. Sound off in the comments below your thoughts about Predator Badlands, but be mindful of anything that could potentially be seen as a spoiler. Speaking for myself, this is absolutely one of the most fun movies I've seen so far this year, and to be quite honest, this movie might have just given us one of the best characters in the franchise. Wherever Deck's next chapter takes him, I will absolutely be game to be along for the ride. Be sure to keep it locked to the channel for more reviews and videos throughout the remainder of 2025 and beyond. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to stop on by. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day, and until the next review, I'm BJ Porter, and this has been The Porter Report.